Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get-together live here on Facebook, where we explore headlines from our city, state, and country. We take a look at your comments, ideas, and suggestions. We combine all this information and put it to good use as a community of English-speaking locals living here in Puerto Vallarta. Today is December 12th. Today is Virgen de Guadalupe Day, so the processions end at the end of today. We're going to touch base on that. We're going to touch base on a couple of other interesting news items, including some very funny ones, or at least I found them funny. But before we go there, as always, you are so welcome to be here, and I am so grateful to have you here in our company. And by our company, I mean Luna and I. And we're particularly happy to welcome those of you that are watching live for the first time. If that is you, feel free to write the word new in your comment and we'll give you a nice little welcome. If you have something really important that you wish to share with everyone, then it helps a great deal if you add a capital letter Q before your comment, and that way we can find it later on in the program. Let's take a look at our news. As I mentioned just a second ago, today is the last day in which all of Mexico celebrates the Virgin of Guadalupe. And here in Puerto Vallarta, it is the last day of peregrinaciones or processions ending at the Church of Guadalupe in El Centro. Expect the number of people walking through downtown Puerto Vallarta to be the highest today of the 12 days, particularly around the early afternoon as the procession of Los Favorecidos, or the favored ones, or the preferred ones, will start at 11 a.m. This particular procession attracts as many as 20,000 people, and there's a story behind it. Back in 1946, there was a group of locals who were coming home on a bus ride, and the bus had a serious accident along the highway, but these locals were spared their lives in this accident, something that at the time was considered as a miracle. So since then, these families of locals and their descendants, along with 20,000 of their favorite friends, come to see the Virgin for this particular pilgrimage. So things are going to be a little crazy around town throughout the day, but then hopefully tomorrow we go back to normal traffic as usual. Now, this next item I was not going to bring up because I thought, okay, it's silly, but it seems to have made national news. So check out this dude. I introduce you to Osvaldo Toledo, or more properly, Father Osvaldo Toledo. He is a priest at the local Church of Guadalupe, and a lot of people have been paying attention to him, not so much because of what he preaches, but because of his good looks. And again, local papers kept joking about this, adding that more than one atheist, man or woman, might consider becoming a Catholic. And where is our drum? There you go. But I just read about this man in Excelsior, which is a national newspaper, where he was even asked if he'd consider opening an OnlyFans account. All joking aside, the debates as to whether being objectified is appropriate for a priest or not, and posing for a ton of selfies with churchgoers is appropriate or not, is definitely out there. I think it's kind of cute, but I don't know. I mean, he's a priest. What can I tell you? Anyhow, let's go back to this business of vaccines being available for purchase after the announcement that COVID-19 vaccines made by the Pfizer and Moderna pharmaceutical companies can be sold in Mexico. Moderna is preparing their SpikeVax COVID vaccine, adding that it will be available in our country before the end of the month. But don't get all excited. There is no precise date of release or pricing or distribution strategy. Nothing has been confirmed. But since a couple of you reached out to me privately asking for more details about this, I chose to add this to the news list for today, as this news item was just published today. As a quick aside, usually when we have headlines like this, it's not like we hold back on the amount of information we provide. When somebody asked me, do you have any more information? Unfortunately, I had to say no, because all we had is what was published at the time, and all we have today is what I just mentioned. And we wrap up the news block with something that is not funny at all. We received a heads up from the Amapas Neighborhood Association about this guy who goes by the name of Alan, because he seems to be the perpetrator of several burglaries that have taken place in the Hortensias and Gardenias area of Amapas. Now, local authorities are familiar with him, but in order to apprehend him, he must be caught in the act. So I'm putting this out there in case you happen to detect any suspicious activity if you live in that area. If you do, you are encouraged to contact the local police immediately, or to contact the Amapas Neighborhood Association through their WhatsApp channels as soon as you see this man or you see some suspicious activity going on. Now, let's take a quick look at the weather and see what's going on out there. Oh, by series sagging tits, it's smurfing sunny. Well, I don't think I know Siri or Siri's sagging tits, so if anybody cares to connect the dots for me, I will appreciate it. Otherwise, we will proceed as usual. It's 27 degrees out there. Humidity is lower than it's been at 50%, which is good. And our weather forecast for today says clear skies in the morning with mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon, a high of 31 and a low of 21. Tomorrow, Wednesday, humid with mostly cloudy skies throughout the day with a high of 29 and a low of 21. And then Thursday, mostly cloudy skies throughout the day with a high of 31 and a low of 20. Yay. Moving right along, today is not only the day in which we celebrate the Virgin of Guadalupe, but it is also a very important milestone in the history of our city. The city's Department of Culture reminds us that 172 years ago today, in 1851, the first people settled near the Rio Cuale where it meets the ocean, and they call the place Las Peñas de Santa María de Guadalupe, or Las Peñas, as it was usually shortened. The city would eventually become Puerto Vallarta, but of course there's a lot of history that went on between the foundation and the change of name. But at least do know that it was 172 years ago that some people saw the Rio Cuale and they thought, well, we might as well settle here. It seems like yesterday. And while browsing the Department of Culture's Facebook page, I came across the entire schedule of activities that will take place during the ongoing Christmas festival. And as a reminder, the very first ever Christmas parade in our city will take place tomorrow, starting at the Buenaventura Hotel around 5 p.m. and ending at the Rio Quale Market, where I wouldn't be surprised there will be some kind of a celebration. And speaking of celebrations, El Jardín de la Versalles has announced their first anniversary celebration to take place this Friday, starting at 6 p.m. This is a very popular alfresco eatery that offers artisanal beer and pizza and wine and cocktails, all provided by different entities. The beer comes from Los Cuentos. The pizza, I believe it comes from another group, and there's a cute little bar there. And this special event, which will be this Friday, will feature music and raffles and surprises, gifts, and tastings of all kind. And the fun begins at 6 p.m. And this last one, given the fact that I just placed my first ever Temu order, I was tickled by this item in which a girl describes her mother's surprise when she ordered a pressure cooker from Temu for 26 pesos and 94 centavos, only to be surprised by a toy. I mean, it takes a certain amount of disbelief to think that you can actually get a real pressure cooker for the price of one taco and a half. But this actually happened. What do you know? And that's what we have for the news today. That's what we have for leisurely things. Let us take a quick look at what you're up to on this Friday. It's not Friday, it's Tuesday. I have my days so mixed up this week. I wonder why. Let's see. We have good mornings, which are very much appreciated as always. Happy Tuesday, says Ben. Yes, thank you for the reminder. Why do I think it is Friday? I don't know. A huge shrine dedicated to Our Lady of Guadalupe is right outside of Chicago and is a big deal all year long, but especially at this time of the year. That's useful information. Thank you very much for sharing. And oh my goodness, the famous Sherry Cooper and her husband David are in town. We are in Puerto Vallarta since Sunday and saw the processions and church activities and hear the bells, which are lovely every day and most of the night. Hello, everybody. Yes, most of the night is right. Last night, my poor kitty cat was awakened, and so was I, by loud fireworks that took place right at midnight when the Virgen de Guadalupe was being sung the happy birthday Mexican song, Las Mañanitas. That is part of the tradition. And this is pretty much what we have for today. I thought I would have more things for you. Or rather, I thought that I would take more time in sharing what I do have for you. So I might as well give you another reminder of my upcoming RISQUÉ Music Appreciation presentation, which is coming up this coming Thursday. If you have a dirty mind and you don't have a problem admitting it, RISQUÉ should be a lot of fun because we will explore 5 centuries of Bawdy songs. Dirty songs, songs that have innuendo, limericks, as in there once was a man from Nantucket and that kind of thing. No, seriously, you'd think that writing dirty songs is a new thing, but no, there are amazing songs that have been composed for many, many years, and we're going to single out some of the funnier ones, some of the more shocking ones. You will blush a little bit, but you will have a really good time. And this, I see no cues, I see no additional comments, so we might as well get done with the broadcast. I'm looking forward to an afternoon of movie going, which should be fun, as in Wonka. And I hope you have all kinds of wonderful plans here in the city for today. And I hope we get to connect sometime in the near future. As an aside, a very important street in my neighborhood was inaugurated yesterday after it underwent some improvements. So I'm going to go take a look and take a walk and hopefully show you around tomorrow. So I will see you then. Have a great day.